version as opposed to a little get-together with Indian Nation. But we're giving you the big deal. So I want to show you Joe Biden on Social Security. You can't cut Social Security, right? If you're a politician. Watch this. The video, please.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again, talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans spending. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth.
And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true or is that not true?
No, it's not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
I meant veterans spending. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe, then
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that. All that I would say to the American people, go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times. And I'm surprised, you can defend that or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
I was making a speech a couple of weeks ago. That's how this happened. And there was a line in there done by a professional. I don't usually use the speeches too much because it gets a little cumbersome and boring. But I read one line that he cut and really fought to cut Social Security and Medicare. These are two things politically you can't even think about, right? I've seen people, they go down 40 points if they even suggest it. So I said, this must be wrong. It's wrong. They said, no, sir, it's true. I said, there's no way it's true. Then they go back and they found out. He also wanted to cut aid to our vets. Can you believe that one, right? So we went back and we found the clip, and the speechwriters turned out to be right. I couldn't believe it. So we put it up on occasion, and we're putting it up for you. So remember that. And he'll cut your Social Security. He doesn't care. He has no idea what's happening anyway as president. I will always protect your Medicare and your Social Security. For 47 years, Joe Biden supported every wretched betrayal of the American worker. How about fracking? There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. There will be no fracking. This went on for a year. Then the primaries ended. He goes to Pennsylvania where they frack. He said, I never said there would be no fracking. No, this guy, Sonny, this guy is crazy. He's either crazy or he's the worst liar. I actually think there's a third category. I think he doesn't remember. No, I think he doesn't remember what he said 3 weeks ago. No, he says for 1 year there'll be no fracking. Then he goes to Pennsylvania, and then he argues with me. He said, I never said that. I said, I'll put it up. And we put it up. I think my people put it up about 20 minutes before the debate ended. But the greatest part of the debate was the end, right? That end was so beautiful. He's going to wean himself off oil. I said, Texas, are you listening? Pennsylvania, Ohio, are you listening? No, it's a fraud. The whole deal with him is a fraud. He was a cheerleader for NAFTA, the worst trade deal in history. Now you have great USMCA. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which made China into a powerful force, obliterating your industries and laying waste to your towns, your cities, your states. I ended Joe Biden's NAFTA nightmare and replaced it with that brand new, beautiful USMCA, Mexico-Canada. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, our southern border. And we're finishing the wall, 400 miles plus already built. Think of that. 400 miles. You know what 400 miles is? That's a lot. We'll be finished very shortly, and it's exactly what they wanted. I said to the Border Patrol, give me your best, just give it. I figured it would be a nice concrete plank, boom, 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 right? Precast. That was my business. I was really good at that business. So I sort of saw a concrete plank, boom. And it turned out they don't want that. They want steel and concrete, and they want vision, and they want all sorts of things. But in the end, they were right. I wanted to give them what, we're doing it, we might as well do it right. More expensive, but we might as well do it right. So we gave them a wall that is not penetrable. And it's got hookups to every form of computer known to man, right? Remember when they said the wall is a wall, it's obsolete. I said, no, walls are not obsolete. Two things, right? Walls and wheels will never be obsolete. A chip will be obsolete in 12 seconds after they develop it. A computer, a new laptop, like, for instance, the laptop from hell. You know, his laptop. We call it the laptop from hell. Joe Biden has vowed to open borders. He wants to open your borders, doesn't want to have borders. You don't have a country if you don't have borders. You don't have a country. Mass amnesty, sanctuary cities, and nationwide catch and release programs. Catch them, murderers, rapists, release them into our country, and they never come back. He was wrong. He said they come back for a trial. They don't come back. They don't come back. They never come back. He has even pledged free health care for illegal aliens, putting you at jeopardy because the country doesn't have the money. What happens is you have millions and millions of people pour into our country once you do that. He wants free education, free health care. If Joe and Kamala, she's another one. She's the most liberal. She makes Bernie Sanders look like a conservative. If Joe and Kamala are elected, it will trigger a tsunami of illegal immigration from every corner of the world. Tens of millions of people will flood into our country. You're not going to be too happy in North Carolina. Now, he oftentimes wouldn't say North Carolina. He'd point, you're not going to be too happy in, let's see, where are we? You're not going to be too happy in Florida. No, we're in North Carolina, Joe. Oh, I'm sorry. In North Carolina, I'm sorry. And I always say, once you do that, forget the speech, just walk off, because the speech is over. You could be the great Winston Churchill, great speaker, great orator. But if you make that mistake, I don't care how well you speak, you're in trouble, right? She said yes, right? He's done it many, many times. And the other thing he does, he keeps getting the presidency mixed up with the Senate. He said, I am a proud Democrat running for the U.S. Senate. Thank you very much. Now, the first time was not really forgivable. You know, there are some things where you can sort of say, you know, it's okay. But that's sort of like, that's a bad one. But then he did it a second, and I think a third, I heard the other day. There's something going on up there. We can't play. You know, we're playing with our country. We're playing with the greatest country in the world. We're playing with a country that has potential, the likes of which nobody even understands the potential of this country. We cannot play games. You know, we can be nice and say, oh, isn't that nice? There are some people that, frankly, are going to vote for him for that reason. I won't say the reason, but they're going to vote for him. They feel badly. They feel sorry for him. I'm sorry. You can't do that. We are playing in the big leagues, whether it's Putin or Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un from North Korea. Remember, we were going to be in a war with them 3.5 years ago. Remember? What happened to the war? What happened to the war? What happened? President Xi of China. You ever see him standing looking over the troops? One thing I can tell you, they are 100%. And they will be for a long time. And when they're not, they'll be taken out so fast your head will spin. There's no games, and we can't play games either. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. And maybe almost as important, defense spending in North Carolina, as you know very well, you're all sitting there very happy, very rich. It soared. A lot of stuff built right here. Made in the USA, all of it made in the USA. A lot made in North Carolina. I will always stand with the great men and women who serve our nation in uniform. We have a tremendous group, except unfortunately, a lot of times they'll get these ballots, and they're military ballots, and it says Trump. We vote for Trump, Trump, Trump. And they find them in garbage cans. No good, right? No good. I just voted. I voted in Florida. I just voted. I'll tell you, I went there and voted. There is no way you get away with anything. Sir, please, could I see your identification? No, I'm the president. No, sir, I have to see. Well, here's my passport. Is that good enough? Barely, sir, barely. Well, passport. Okay, sir. You could sit down, sir. Could we give you a couple of... Can you believe this? They were so good. I said, you can't get away. There's nothing you could get. The people that I just went through, it was like a movie. It was perfect. It was so professional. And then you see, send in ballots. Thousands and millions of ballots are being sent. Send them in. This is a horrible thing. And to be honest with you, it's the only way we can lose, because I see the crowds. Joe has 14, 15 people show up for a rally. This is a rally for some friends of mine, and look at the number of people. This isn't a rally, actually. This was a little get-together that we wanted to do for our congressmen, because they've been fighting so hard for that special group of people here and there. But we can't play games. This is our country, and you should have voter ID. Everybody should have voter ID, right? They don't want voter ID. You know why the Democrats don't want voter ID? Only one reason: bad purposes. There's only one reason you don't want it: because you're going to cheat. Why wouldn't they want voter ID? They have voter ID on almost everything. You know, to get into the Democrat National Convention, we did get higher ratings than them, by the way, I hate to tell you. You know, they put out a thing, but it turned out to be very wrong. They're tough players. But to get into the Democrat National Convention, you had a card, and it had ID on it, and it had your picture. Isn't that nice? But to vote, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. To get into their convention, their national convention, they have a ID card, and yet they don't want it for the vote. And just think about that. The last administration failed our veterans. I reformed the VA, passed VA choice and VA accountability, and veterans approval of the VA is now at 91%, the highest ever. Right? I did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe did in 47 years. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, a limitless future for all Americans. It's really a vote for the American dream. It is. And it's a vote for your Second Amendment. It's a vote for your Second Amendment. Remember that. Your Second Amendment. They're going to take your guns away. Sure as you're there. If something happened with me, the guns are gone. Your Second Amendment will be either obliterated totally or almost totally. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance totally on China. It's already started. We will hire more police. We love our police. Increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement. And we will ban deadly sanctuary cities that are so dangerous. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, the right to life, and the right to keep and bear arms. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. You have no excuse, because we have the numbers. You just got to get out and vote. If you don't vote, you're going to be very unhappy, because your country will never be the same. They'll court pack. They're going to court pack. Pack your courts with super radical lefts. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will maintain. I'd love that even longer. You could do it all day, but this sun is killing me. It's the only time I've ever stopped applause. I got to get out of here. My people did a great job. Great job, fellas. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. America will, and you know this, America will land a woman and be the first, right, on the moon. And the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We've already started the process. And NASA now is the leading space center in the world times 10. There's nothing even close. And it was abandoned when I got to it. It was abandoned. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto. As you know, they wanted to get rid of the word God, right? You wanted to get rid. Let's take the word God out. They tried it twice in their Pledge of Allegiance. In fact, the first time I heard it, I said, oh, they must have made a typo. Then I heard it a second time. I said, that's not a typo. They took the word God out, and they politically had to put it back in, but they'll fight for that. And all of a sudden, they'll call you horrible people for wanting it. No. In God we trust. In God we trust. For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of North Carolina. For the last 4 years, you've seen me fight for you, and now I'm relying on you to deliver a historic vote in the most important election in the history of our country. The most important election. From Asheville to Charlotte, from Wilmington to Raleigh, and from Greensboro to right here in Lumberton. Lumberton, we like Lumberton. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty and defend our freedom. We inherit the legacy of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, traversed the continent, explored the wilderness, laid down the railroads, dug out the Panama Canal, raised up our great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and landed our brave American astronauts on the face of the moon. We made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. It's coming back, and you see it. We're driving them crazy. They don't know what to do. Their heads are exploding. They don't know what to do. They've never had anything like this. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and together with the incredible people of North Carolina. And my little granddaughter named Carolina. But I'm going to give South Carolina a little credit for that, too. Is that okay? Is that okay? Let's give them a little credit, right? We love South Carolina. We have made America powerful again. Our military, greatest in the world. It was depleted. It was tired. It was old. Greatest in the world, 2.5 trillion, powerful. We have made America wealthy again. Stock market, record highs. 401ks, record highs. Let him double, triple, quadruple your taxes. You'll be taking your 401ks, throwing them away. You want to make room in the house that just got a lot smaller. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again.